I'm here. Kind of. Internet problems. I'm here by myself. For now. We'll see who jumps on. So we're going to talk about is gritty dogs today anyways. Maybe all those guys got scared, didn't want to talk about the gritty dogs. Other than that, hound trials this weekend if you're in Arizona. Um, those will be near Clintwell, Arizona. Um, they have signs up. You could go to Facebook Catha's. It's Catha, Central Arizona Trail Hound Association on Catha. So check it out on Facebook. Directions. Can't tell you. Let me see. Let me put a thing up so you guys know. Yeah, I'm on. It's working now. Had to restart my internet. Media. So this weekend will be these. And it's not showing up very good, looks like. Oh, no, that's my raffle. Never mind, it disappeared. So Hound Trials, Arizona, near Pine. Got any questions, just give me a call or email or message me on Facebook, and I can send you some directions. It is, let me look it up before I forget. It is, so if you go through, if you're coming through Payson, you're going through Strawberry and Pine, and you're going to come in, you're going to go to Forest Road 95, take that to Forest Road 513, take you right to it. Just follow the signs, guys. Follow the signs. And if you have any questions, let me see here. Email audimay@gmail.com. AUTIMAE. Let me put it up here. You've never been, I don't know where Derek is. Actually, he was working nights for a while. Oh, shoot. Who's that? Robert. Hey, did you get snow?
A little bit. The Front Range got more than we did.
Yeah, I seen down low.
We got about 4 inches. Front Range got, this is like 22 inches.
Yep. But for those asking where Derek is, he's working in Texas, and I have sent him. I sent him a link, but maybe we have too many potlickers for him to be here. Or maybe he's scared.
We just don't have the paperwork, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And I may have someone who hasn't been on for a while jump on. We'll see if he makes it. He's on his way right now, supposed to be. Anyways, Audie May, let me put this up on. If you have any questions, email. This email I'm going to put up in the comments. And if you want to do the hound trials, kind of small. There's not too many people there. I like those big ones. I like Californians. They got some big hound trials over there. What do you guys got up in Colorado?
We got we call it Houndsman Days. We do some bear races, lion races, bobcat, some water races. One weekend in June. I think it's June 8th.
You only do one weekend?
Yeah, just one weekend.
So we do May, May, June, July, and August. So 4 weekends. And then all the points get added up. You get the big trophies, whatever. I won a bunch of little ones, but I don't consistently take one dog and try to get points.
Right.
I just go for the food. And I'm the one that cooks, so.
Well, this year it would be nice. I'm not a board member, so I get to go just have fun.
Oh, you don't have to do no work.
I don't have to. I could volunteer, but I don't know.
Yeah. Who wants to do that?
Might just show up with 17 dogs and have fun.
Is that what you're up to?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're supposed to get rid of those puppies when you have them.
Yeah, I did. Problem is, when I have puppies, I still end up getting puppies from somewhere else.
Yeah, that's true. I have I have a I have
I
a litter of quarter Catahoula and 3/4 pot liquor on the ground right now.
that little black and tan looked like a pretty little pup.
I got a
They
couple
all
of them.
looked good. They all looked good, but
I had a couple of them, and they have blue eyes because of the Catahoula. One of them does.
right.
They're like cobalt blue. It's really kind of neat. If you could pick a dog that looked real good, and that's the dog that was going to be real good just by its look, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
The problem is you see those real cool looking dogs and you want it, but you're like, man, how's that dog going to turn out? It looks good. It looks pretty.
Yeah.
The thing with blue-eyed dogs, though, I can get rid of those anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone sees a blue-eyed dog, they're like, oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So my mom is.
I don't know.
Shepherds.
I don't know if anybody remembers who this guy is.
Holy
But
cow.
I know.
I've been lost for a long time.
I know.
It's turning all white instead of red down there below his chin.
Let me tell you what. It happens.
What is my official description of a pot licker? What's your description of a pot licker, Brett?
When I hear that term, I think of some of those old coon hounds, back in Arkansas or Tennessee or whatever. Those guys used to have
sitting on the front porch.
Yeah, way back in the day.
Yep. Yep.
What's your definition of one?
Mangy old hound.
Just an old
mangy old hound.
I just thought it was like a crossed up dog. Like I had when I started out, I got some Walker dogs that had like pointer in them and Weimaraner and different stuff like that.
Those are just plain old mutts.
But basically, those were some hunting damn dogs.
I was gonna say a lot of people have bred pointer into their dogs.
Yeah,
for the brain, right?
I think so. Man, I'm all cleaned up. I took a shower and everything. I'm in the house with my laptop instead of out in my office.
Man,
right? I thought you were traveling or something.
I got my jammies on.
Yeah. I ain't got
old men that have this white in their beard, they go to bed early.
Yeah. My dad, the summer is the only time he's up till 8 o'clock. Only because I don't think it gets dark till 8 o'clock. Winter times, 5:45, then the sun goes down and he's ready to go to bed. But he's still up. He's still up at 3 no matter what.
I mean, relative. I get up at like 4:30.
It's what a Texan calls a good hound.
A pot licker?
I don't think when Cody says pot licker, I don't think it's a polite version.
It's a derogatory term.
I think it is. Yep. You hear about his bee infection?
Oh, did he get an infection?
So he got attacked by those bees. He told the story last week. He got a real hunter on here. That's coming. That means a lot coming from Bone Pile.
Yeah, him and I have become good friends.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know his real name.
Nobody knows I'm not saying nobody knows his real name. I won't reveal his real name.
Maybe his
or
name
where he really lives.
Maybe his name is Bone Pile.
Yeah, maybe. Yep. He had a girlfriend on here last week. Oh, Brandy. There was 300 comments per minute between both of them.
Wow.
I know.
She was infatuated with him?
I think, no, Bone Pile was just getting all giddy on her.
Oh, it was him, huh?
It was Julianne at first, but he done forgot about her. Killer, dingo, shepherd. We talk about, I think you and me just talked the other day about, lines and breeding and whatnot, genetics. And to me, genetics don't mean a piece of paper, you know. It just means you're following that line, or you know what you want to breed. But some of these mutt dogs you'll see sometimes, there's some good dogs.
Oh yeah,
You know?
absolutely. Most of these dogs, I mean, these hounds that we use, they're all crossed up. There's no telling what's in them back in the day, because my dogs go back to some old-fashioned stuff, and those guys hunted whatever they had.
Well, who's to say the old healer didn't get into the pen one day, or
Border Collie or any of that stuff.
Labrador, or there was a guy down in Tunnel Basin, and he bred blackmouth curs and labs to catch his cattle. You know,
Dave Carlson in Arizona is the one that used to breed pointers into his hounds. He died. He died. He was a neat guy. He was a good trainer.
Yep. Did he recently die? Didn't he just recently?
Here a few years ago. He was a good lion hunter.
Chris is going to run 100% English with a little walker in the background, like 7 generations back. I got a pup coming from Ryan. It's all papered up. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to be one of them paper people now.
What is he hunting with them?
It's not all
Everything.
Everything. He paddle boards with them too.
Do they strike off the paddleboard?
I don't know. If he went to Roosevelt Lake, they would run that rim over on the north, kind of west side. I always wanted to go there at night and spotlight that, see what's coming down out of there. I've heard some people take their hounds over there on the boats and jump off that other side, go run them.
They got a lot of coons down there.
A lot of lions come off that over there.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I know that first year we left the Rendezvous down there when we were coming down, the northeast side of that lake. There was a bunch of javelina out there.
Yeah.
Was that Chris's Rendezvous?
Yeah.
I hit a deer on my way to that last time.
He did. Then he said he was going to try to make it, but then he just went home, drove the car all the way home, and they totaled it out.
Drove it all the way home, and they said it wasn't worth fixing.
That's crazy what these insurance companies total. We had Shelby's uncle had a 2003 Ford Power Stroke crew cab dually, only had 6,800 miles on it, like brand new. Some meth had stole it, didn't mess it up, but had meth in the car, and because they detected meth, they wanted to total it.
Wash it out.
Yeah, that's all he did. He was like, screw that.
Oh, look, an apology from Bone Pile. He didn't block her. He just had too much respect for her. Didn't want to act a fool.
He's not drunk enough yet tonight.
Sometimes
he's not drinking. He's not drinking tonight. I could tell already.
Yeah.
Sometimes those hormones get away from you.
You know those. You know why they total them out? I don't know if you guys heard they took a Cadillac, old Eldorado or something, sold it, only could get $10,000 out of it. Parted it out and sold every piece and got $100,000 out of it.
No kidding.
So I mean, if your insurance company is, say, in bed with a salvage yard, they could be making some serious money. And it's even better now, right? You can.
Who's telling? I mean, who knows what they do with them?
Well, you can buy them back sometimes, but what I'm saying is, if we have the internet now, right? That's how we all know each other. You know, that's how everything works now. And if you're selling parts on the internet, you're selling an alternator to some dude back east for $120 when it's $400 at the dealership.
Yep.
You know,
Speaking of selling stuff, do you realize what copper's bringing right now?
$5 a pound, give or take.
Yeah.
I had a stack of wire out there. It's probably 4 foot high and 20 foot around. Scrap wire from when I was in business.
Right.
And I went ahead and bought one of those real nice strippers, you know, the long blonde hair. And
It don't matter what color their hair is.
Yeah.
but no, a stripper that, and this cable we have is it's HMW, so it has a really thick coating on it.
Right.
We've been stripping that stuff, and I gave some to my grandson, and I've stripped about, I don't know, probably about $1,800 worth.
Yeah.
Just every now and then running it through, taking it down there.
Yeah.
5-gallon bucket.
No, we got a tub, big tub like that.
Yeah.
Last time we hauled our copper, we had our 1-ton pickup completely loaded with it. And it was right around, this is about 10 years ago. And I think we got around 15 grand.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, my son, they still scrap. I gave him a couple of accounts when I got out of it. And they make enough money to spend enough money, you know, this little side business they got.
It's definitely a nice little extra. That's what I do too.
He's right. These data centers going up. And
Are you in the electrical business?
No, I'm in the concrete business, but I also my dad had a salvage yard in Leadville for it's the 70s, and so I ended up with that and still kind of tinker with it, but
it's hard to pick up any copper right now. Everybody knows what it's worth.
Yeah, you know when the price is high because all these people show up with trailers trying to buy every piece you got.
The gypsies. I called them. I had some Bosnian gypsies that used to show up all the time, and an African guy, a true African from Africa. I could hardly understand him, and he'd come by and buy car parts, steering rack and pinions, steering boxes. So I saved all those for him. But an old Italian guy back in the day said, if copper's over $202 a pound, then there's something wrong. So when it hits 4 or 5, he says it's just playing the game.
I think it's what Savage here says because of all those data centers going up.
Yep. Yeah. Tweakers are suicidal for the copper. So what happens when it gets this high? And if I paid more than $300 for a load of copper, I had to get their IDs off them, and I had to write a check. Well, once you tell them that once, they bring in $100 worth of copper 3 times.
Yeah,
different tickets, so they know how to get around it. And then all the condensers and stuff off the ACs, you can kiss those goodbye. Yeah, yeah.
I had to give my license plate, and they made a photocopy of it, and I had to sign a deal and everything.
Yep. Good old world. Anyways, it's kind of like that's close to gritty dogs, ain't it? What we're talking about, a gritty dog.
Yeah.
Gritty dog, gritty tweakers.
For me, it's what pays the food bill for the dog, so I keep doing it.
Yeah. Yep. So
I feed that stuff right up in the corner right there.
Yep. Other way, you're backwards.
Okay.
It's right here on my. It's there on my screen.
It's right there on mine.
Mine's over here. Yep.
They don't sell that stuff nowhere close to me. I'd have to go up to like Wyoming was the closest place. So
well, that's what happened to me the first time. There was just a little dinky like pets, not even a pet store. They just sold, I don't know, collars and it was for pets, and they handled value pack, and I was getting it there, and then they went out of business. And I got real lucky because a friend of mine that bought my farm owns a big hardware store there in Hatch, and they didn't have a dog food supplier. So I put them together. So that put me in good standing with Value Pack.
Good deal.
Look at King Cody's here.
I know. I got 2 of the big legends on tonight. I text Cody too, and I said, "Looks like I'm alone." No one answered me.
He only let me on here because Benny's not here.
Then he has Little League, I guess.
Little League?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's food truck. Benny's selling tacos now. I can tell you, I was out in Arizona this past week, and I ate Benny's food for about 3 days, and it's pretty good. I gotta give him credit; it's pretty good.
Speaking of that, I got a bone to pick with you guys. No one ever told me. No one called me and said, "Are you going to that?" Or because I didn't even know what was going on.
I thought you had a booth set up there.
Nobody said anything to
Earn your
me.
spurs.
Everybody went there, didn't even say a word to me.
I didn't go.
Chris didn't go. Benny was there, but he was selling. You know, he had his food truck up.
He was busy the whole time.
Yeah, and I tell you something. There was like 3, 4 food trucks there, and I felt sorry. I genuinely felt sorry for everybody else because there was a long line all weekend at Benny's food truck.
Must make some good food.
And there wasn't never a line at any of the other ones.
I'll be dang.
Benny said he had to hire an extra guy just to cook for Cody King. That's how much he.
I've seen Cody before. He doesn't look like he eats that much.
No, all you got to do is set up a candy stand, and he'll be there.
Yeah.
Cody knows where he's going to eat, what day he's going to eat there, and what he's having on that day because he knows that's the day they serve it.
I like food.
Yeah.
I like good food. I'm a foodie. Everywhere I go, I want to eat. You know what the area is known for.
Yeah.
Brett, what have you been up to, man?
Doctor's appointments. About it.
That's cool. Cody had been having to hit some doctor appointments.
I am, but I tell you what, look at that. I'll tell you a little story. So, for those of y'all that know Casey Fair, you know, him and his wife are pretty religious people, and you know, his wife kind of started a summer camp for kids and all this stuff. And my old hand was swelled up like a watermelon the whole time I was out there. And before we left, they said, "Cody, we want to pray on your hand and get you well." And I said, "Okay." And I stuck my hand out there. And man, they all took turns going in a circle praying on my hand. And y'all can all say what you want to, but I'm telling you, I woke up in the morning and my hand was 100% well. The infection was gone. And so, I don't know, but somebody's got to.
I'm going to tease you guys a little bit, but I'm going to wait until I get out of the hospital because I got a good story to tell about that.
Yeah.
Oh, about your experience right now?
Well, yeah. We flew to Scottsdale to the Mayo Clinic last Thursday, and of course we had to get an Uber to go to the motel and everything, and we ran into our Uber driver was a unique individual, to say the least.
Yeah.
Eating homegrown meat. We'll get you back on. We'll get you back on.
Man, my phone's going crazy. There's a contractor down here that everybody knows, and years ago he went to jail for running drugs. And he went to jail, got out, and been doing good, and all of a sudden, man, he sure started making a lot of money again, and the feds raided his house today. So I'm getting all these text messages, everybody gossiping about him.
Didn't learn the first time, did he?
No, and they confiscated 70 firearms from his house. felon in possession on 70 counts. That
man.
alone's probably
That's big
gonna
time.
hurt him.
What was he
Yep.
doing with so many, and what kind were they? I wonder.
Just every kind. I mean, just stupid. I mean, you'd
People
think if
with
a person
money.
was going to run drugs, you'd be a little better at hiding it. You know,
Well, he's already been busted before, right?
he's already been busted before, and then now all of a sudden he got a 10,000 square foot house on the water in Port Mansfield and a 45-foot offshore boat and 3 bay boats and an airboat and you know, buying land and just, you know, it's just obvious. I mean,
Bringing a lot of attention to himself.
everybody knows you. Everybody knows what you do for a living. You can't afford this, you know.
Yeah.
And if they raided him today, you know they've been looking at him for a while.
Since he's been out, probably.
Yeah.
'Cause he
Those
probably
guys
got
are
out.
losing their money.
He probably made some contacts in prison and then got out.
Yeah.
And
He's
you
the
seen that
only
movie,
individual
Blow?
that I've ever known that got caught doing it. And he used the money. I mean, he got a sheet metal shop and stuff, you know, millions of dollars in equipment. And then he did like 18 months. And then I think he only had to serve like a year. And he's the only individual I've ever known that looking back at it when he got caught the first time, it was like, man, it was almost worth it. You know, his punishment was so low, you know. And I mean, would you go
He could have
serve a
stored
year
some
in
of that
jail
money.
for millions and millions of dollars, you know?
How much of that money did he get to keep? Did he get to keep all his investments and all that?
Yes, yeah, the business stayed, you know, it was all in other people's names and
Oh, wow.
it
He's at least that's
yeah.
Probably rolled on
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah, he kept his business for a long time. So yes, Chris, the rumor is that the feds were going after his wife too back then. And the feds told him, we're either going to throw your wife in jail or you're going to start singing, you know. And he you know,
Yep.
he started talking.
He was a canary. He was a
Yeah.
canary.
He's
Sign
probably
me up.
laundering a lot of that money through his business, wasn't he?
Yeah, for sure. And then when he got out, it was like everybody just forgot about it. He was just one of the boys again, you know. It like I said, it was weird. And he went to freaking his freaking cellmate was like Oscar Wyatt, you know. I mean, he went to a country club prison too. So, yeah.
Definitely.
I had some friends of mine that got rich doing that
Yeah.
and didn't get caught.
Yeah.
that piece of crap FedEx driver down there in Texas.
What happened?
I think he
They
kidnapped and
with the 7-year-old girl.
a 7-year-old girl, yeah, kidnapped and killed her and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they
Yeah,
should.
I think he just got
execute
sentenced,
him.
so I'm hoping prison takes care of him.
We lost Cody. He's all black.
I'm hoping prison. Oh, he got a phone call, probably. So I guess we could talk about what I'm here to talk about.
Gritty dogs.
Gritty dog. Gritty dog. Look, there's Cody again.
Oh, we
He's
got
still
two
black
Codys.
over here.
Got 2 of them.
Oh,
I
there
got an Amber Alert on my phone and it messed everything up. What'd the FedEx driver do in Texas?
he kidnapped and murdered a 7-year-old girl and disposed of her and kept delivering packages.
Really? God dang.
I think
He got sentenced.
didn't he like what started he? He hit her? He hit her with the truck or something, maybe?
I think that's what he tried to say happened.
Oh,
that
he
started
got
it.
scared,
I heard about that.
Because
threw her in the truck. Yeah.
he raped her
supposedly-
too, from what I heard. So
I heard they didn't. They
he
did it.
didn't.
He didn't. But don't mean he didn't do something.
Yeah, I mean, either way, he killed a 7-year-old. I mean,
Yeah,
they need to publicly execute that guy right in front of everyone.
absolutely.
Or torture him for a week.
Yeah.
At least.
The same punishment he put on her is what he should get.
Yeah.
Oh shit! God dang! All the big guys tonight.
God dang, there he is.
Well,
There. I seen Casey put on a roping clinic, boys. Let me tell
Oh.
you what.
hey, Casey,
I was hell to miss one.
did you chat GBT how to rope and go down there and teach some people or what?
No, no, no.
That's
By
what
far,
everybody
no.
else does.
He
No,
tried
I
to-
got
he tried to
educated.
he tried to recruit me to go heel for him.
Oh,
I haven't picked up a rope in 10 years.
no, that's not true. Last year you were down there roping goats.
Oh, I spent a lot of time roping goats. That's how I learned how to heel.
Yeah. Yeah, but you didn't piss off Olivia back in the day.
Casey, where y'all at?
I'm at home.
Mm.
That's all part of my memory problems. I don't even remember that.
Oh, really? Olivia? Oh, Clump's granddaughter, and she was mad at you because you missed. You even tried to pay her her fee, and she said, "No, I'll pay my own."
Well, that's probably why I don't remember it, because I missed.
That's
Yeah.
probably that's selective memory.
I try to forget those bad things.
Yep. Well, I say gritty dog, and everybody jumps on.
Right.
You know.
So did you win some money down there, Casey?
No, we didn't do no good. First night we fell plumb apart, and then second night I was on a team, and we did good. Just good average runs. You know, didn't win no money though.
Was it a numbered roping, or was it an open, or?
It was a
No, they
ranch
had
rodeo.
2 ranch rodeos. They were supposed to have a open on Sunday, and they didn't have it.
Oh,
But they had the ranch rodeo 2 days, you know, for an average, and it was it dang sure tough. Dang sure
Was
tough. You know them kids, they rope so good anymore. Shoot, they get to practice it.
it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Were you ever around Byron?
Oh well. Oh yeah. Yeah.
He was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that guy was handy with a rope. Yeah.
And he could be just toasted drunk and still beat everybody.
Oh yeah. Yes, sir.
Probably wrote better. Drunker he got, right?
I don't know. A lot of years he stayed pretty tuned up, and I mean, you didn't know it. I mean, to be around him, you didn't know it. All you knew is if he showed up, he pretty good chance he's gonna beat you.
A lot of those guys said, of course, I was around, Clay and those guys, and they said Byron was the best roper who never went to the NFR.
Yeah. No, I truly believe that. That guy, he healed good. Rode a horse correct, you know.
Set straight up and down, never got bent over.
No, never took a bad shot.
We're talking about roping now. Everybody's out of the conversation.
Casey picked me up. I was hitchhiking Friday, and Casey picked me up, guys.
Yeah, I drive 6 hours to Southern Arizona, and I'm trying to go get a haircut. Been trying to get a haircut for 2 days between flat tires and breakdowns, and I pull out of the rodeo grounds. I'm driving down the road, and I see this big old tall guy walking down the road with a cowboy hat on, about 200 yards from the fairgrounds, and I look, and it's Cody King. I'm like, what are you doing? And I says, I'm going to get a haircut. Let's go. So we drove into town, and he bailed in there with me. I said, I thought you were getting a rental car. He says, oh, heck, I had an Uber bring me all the way from Tucson. What is it, 2 hours?
Yeah.
Tucson? So he went and got something to eat, and his Uber guy hadn't showed up, and he looked at his map. He says, hell, it's only 2.5 miles
Yeah.
from the restaurant. He just goes to walking, and I pick him up, and then he gives me a hard time about picking him up when he's 500 yards from the building.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you have my number.
I walked 2.4 miles, and freaking Casey picked me up about 400 yards from the rodeo grounds.
That's what happens. You put a Texan in Arizona, and that's what happens.
But I tell you what, though, I did get to meet Warner Glenn. Talked to him for a long time. I got to meet Terrell Shelley. I got to meet Johnny Clump.
Oh man,
He's the best one of all of them. He's a character now, let me tell you.
he's a lot.
And he's just this tough looking cowboy. And then he's got this high pitched voice. I asked him, I said, John, did you go hunting this morning? He said, yeah, I went down, turned some dogs loose down there on the river, and we found a bear track down there. He just talks so fun. It's not what you expect when he's going to talk, you know. And but I talked to John Clump for a long time. We kind of got the bullshitting, and I got to talk with Warner for about an hour, and I really enjoyed it, man. I got to hang out with Casey and his wife all weekend. Hell, Casey let me drive his truck around, and then I had to leave. That Uber driver picked me up. But I tell you what, man, all I did was go out there and go to a little rodeo, and I had more fun. That's the most fun I've had not hunting in years. Man, I enjoyed myself.
Well, you don't do anything else but hunt and work, right?
Yeah, that's why it was so enjoyable.
Yep. It's a good time down there. Sounded like they had a lot of people there this year, too.
Well,
Casey, you've been there before, hadn't you, Casey?
I'd never been to that one. No.
No.
There's, there was Saturday, there's dang sure a lot of people. Friday night, quite a few people. Jared showed up. I didn't get to see Jared. I talked to him.
Yeah, Jared. I saw Jared for a few minutes. Saturday, about 5 minutes before Jared showed up, my phone started ringing, and I found out that I was getting audited by the IRS. So Jared showed up, and I was dealing with that and talking on the phone, and so I didn't get to visit with him very much, and I wish that I would have. And then I get home today, and my accountant talked to him and got them everything they wanted, and shit, it was nothing.
Well, need no big deal.
No.
20 minutes of work.
Yeah.
Jared's in Texas right now, somewhere.
Do what, Brett?
You got one of those good accountants.
Yeah, that's what I told my wife. I said, I mean, the accountant, they want the bank statements, and the accountant used the bank statements to file the return, so that's easy. But no, I had a lot of fun, man. What's Robbie's wife's name, Casey?
Katie.
Robbie and Katie and Diana and Casey put on a little cowboy church Sunday morning, and man, a lot of people showed up. It was man, I had a lot of fun.
It was a good weekend. It was a lot of fun.
Yep. Yeah, Cody got some guns, and
Casey got some guns.
Casey got some guns.
They had a silent auction, and I went to bidding on stuff, and then I got to messing with Casey's wife, Diana, and everything she was bidding on, I'd go outbid her by $10, and then Benny would come back in, and then he would outbid me by $10, but he would write down Diana's name. So Diana walked through the auction, and she had like 5 things bought over there. She wasn't even bidding on nothing. She said, "What are y'all doing?" It was pretty funny, but man, they had a real nice Ruger 1 rifle, single shot Ruger 1 rifle in a 280 Ackley, and pretty cool gun. They raffled it off. I don't know who won it, but yeah, it was.
You didn't know how much they went for?
No, it was they raffled it off. They didn't auction the
Oh.
rifle. I like that rifle a lot. It's probably a good thing that they raffled it and didn't auction it. But
I missed the
it,
raffle. What the hell?
yeah. Where were you? I needed you. I couldn't win nothing without paying for it. God dang. No, it was
But
good.
Good weekend.
Cody bought a pistol. He bought that Ruger SP 101, and I think if I'm right, they made 50 of them, and this one I believe is 26. And they say Kelly Glenn Kimbrough on them. They're engraved. They were made, they were made pistol for Kelly. It's that SP 101, and it comes with a 4-inch barrel and a adjustable sight. Cody got a heck of a nice pistol there. And then what else did you get? Oh, that
1911, yeah.
1911, yeah. And then Cody leaves, and I just get in bed. It's about 11 o'clock, and Benny comes banging on my trailer and says, "Hey, you got to go over there and do the paperwork on the guns." And I'm like, "What?" And they said, "Yeah." Well, I figured they had their FFL guy there. So I get over there, and they said, "Yeah, we talked to Cody. He can come in the morning, but the FFL guy's here now." And, I guess you told him you'd come back. I just give him my concealed weapons, and we got it all done.
Yeah.
Saturday was a late night.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Sound like a good time.
No, it was cool, man.
It was.
Yeah, I
It was
think
a good weekend.
I told Cody, I said, "You go. That's probably. It's good to go. Some of them guys are a little older. You never know if you ever meet them again."
Yeah,
glad you got to meet
Warner's
Warner,
90.
Yeah.
I don't know how
walking
old. I don't know how old Terrell is, but he's not far behind him. He's old, and John Klump. He's not as old as the other two, I don't think. But
John's only in his 60s, right, Brett?
I think John's my age.
yeah,
64.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I guarantee you that John Klump has some boys. He has 3 or 4 sons.
Yes,
And I guarantee you, if you ever got crossways with one of them, you better have lots of bullets, because that's the only way you could ever hurt them tough sons of bitches. I promise you. You ain't gonna do it with your fist. I can guarantee you that.
Well, I think those clumps are pretty well known down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. John has 6 sons. It was kind of a joke that he's trying to have 7 for every day of the week. And they all run a part of that ranch.
Chris, now we got to move on to future things. When is Rendezvous?
21st, 22nd, 23rd of August.
21st, 22nd, 23rd of August.
And Cody says he's hitting that old rocket button on his Ford and bringing his dogs over.
I am. I'm going to bring some running walkers to the mountains of Arizona.
Hey, you did Oklahoma. Might as well come do Arizona.
Yeah.
You've been in New Mexico, haven't you? Have you been in New Mexico yet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've caught some bobcats in New Mexico.
Where at?
Right there by you, or not far from you.
Winston.
Oh,
yeah.
That's up in the higher country there. Yeah, that's country.
Yeah. Yeah. What's that? An hour and a half, 2 hours from you, Brett? Something
Probably
like that.
2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
I caught a javelina in a culvert pipe up there.
Yeah.
The first time I ever
Let's
got a lot of
javelinas.
In a culvert.
Now Casey said he's gonna. I would like to do that. Who was it? I was talking to somebody out there at that deal in Arizona, and they were talking about me catching 6 cats, and someone said something along the lines of now you need to catch a bobcat in every state. I said, God dang, y'all got to quit coming up with these grand ideas, man.
That'd be a feather in your hat.
Yeah.
New York might be a tough place.
There's a lot of property up north in New York, right? That's,
Is there?
Upstate, yeah. There's some in the Adirondack Mountains.
Yep.
I don't know that that's how you pronounce that.
Yep.
But Casey said he's got some bobcats scouted out for me over there. So
There you go.
we'll come over there and see if we can get after one of them. It would be cool to catch one.
Yep.
What's that? Is that manzanilla that grows kind of thick in them thickets there at your place, Casey?
Yeah, manzanita and oak brush. You know, I think
Yeah.
well, that one guy hunts bobcats here. You know, I think he'll do good. You know, there's a lot of brush for them dogs to trail on.
Yeah.
You know, especially if we get some monsoon and we got some good moisture right there. I bet you do pretty good. It'd be just like your thickets in Texas, but a little thicker.
Yeah.
Cody, you've been invited to Oregon and Utah already on this.
Yeah. All it takes is time.
Yeah.
All it takes is time. But,
You'll be in Arizona a little bit more here soon. So
yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna. I tell you, I want to do we need to do a little push. We need to push some of these guys in here to come out to Rendezvous. They're, you know, the Rick Coolies and Howard Hales and Daniel Hale and God dang it, what's his name? Now he's going to be pissed. I can't say his name because if I do, he could be mad I didn't remember his name. Alan Listdalls and hell, Alan's a good friend of mine. We need to get some of them guys from up north and from northeast. You know, we ought to get them to come out and you know, it'd be a good time, man.
It's a great time out there.
don't forget Bonehead.
Bonehead, yeah,
Bone pile.
bone pile. Hey, I had a question. Have any of y'all ever heard you know, like Airbnb, right?
Yeah.
But I heard that there's one of those websites too where you can rent like a camper trailer. And you let them, and they'll like set it up for you and stuff. Has anybody ever seen that?
Yeah, my son's trying to get into it. There's a guy here in up where I live in Sholo, Arizona area, North Arizona. He does that.
Yeah.
He goes out, he sets them up, he goes and picks them up and leaves.
That'd be a good business, man. For
No,
all
it
these
is.
city slickers, they want to go camping. They pay you, they book the date, you go take the camper out there, set it up for them, let them get done, you go pick it up. I bet a person could get into that and make some money.
No, the guy makes good money. My son was talking about starting to buy those trailers. You just go buy a bunch of trailers and freshen them up and make sure they got some food and water in it and good to go.
Yeah.
One here in Pagosa. Yep. There's a guy in New Mexico, Ponderosa Pines, I think is what it's called. No, it's not. Dang it. Anyways, he's over there by Dago or Dago. Is that what it is? New Mexico?
Mm.
Daddle. Yeah. And he has a bunch of sheds and he has a bunch of camper trailers, $45 a night. His wife, this was years ago. I don't know if they're still open, but Pinyon Pines. His wife would cook for you. So she'd make breakfast. She'd be up early and make breakfast. If you're back at lunch, she'd make you lunch. And at night, she made dinner. And if you're going to be really late, you just kind of give her a call. And, you know, she charged for whatever you ate. And bathroom, they had one big bathroom thing there. And it was $5 a shower, you know. So I know they made, just an older couple, had a big old double wide on top of the hill with a gut and shop. And, you know, you bring your antelope, whatever you're hunting out there in, and get it all done up. So
I know
that's pretty cool.
That shower that Casey had down there was way nice. Didn't have to rough it. those days.
I'm just afraid if I take my dogs out there, they're going to see Robert Chase's dogs and run the other direction. Think we're getting invaded by grizzly bears.
They might.
Big old dragon ears.
They won't want to hunt. They see them big old dogs, think they're going to get in a fight.
Yep. And he did real good with his food trader, Richard. His trailer.
Yeah, he did.
So
He did. He was the most popular there.
So make him buy you lunch next time he's in Arizona.
Man, his mac and cheese is good. Everything he had was good. Everything he had. His nachos were good.
Sure, he's busy, but they got the horses, hounds, and mule sale coming up. That'd be a good one for him.
July. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that would be a good one. They only had the one dinner there, or the taco meal.
They just had the Navajo taco out there. And
Who's running that now?
Hatch.
Wade
Hatch.
Wade Hatch and Ty, or is it Ty? What the hell's his name?
I don't remember his last name.
The Hounds and Mules deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Horse, hounds, and mule sale. That's a pretty cool one. We went to it last year.
Is Chris Powell still tied into it too?
I don't think this year he is.
Yeah, he was last year.
Is that the place where they sold that hound for 17 grand?
Yeah. Trey Narrowmore.
I got a good story about that.
Narrowmore.
I was talking to Breck Bean, and I said, "Man, did you hear about that hound that sold up there?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "It sold for 17,000." He said, "Yeah." I said, "Whose hound was that?" He said, "It was mine."
Yeah.
So then I was talking to Joel Garnett, and I asked Joel about that. I said, "Did you hear about that hound that sold for 17,000?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Man, alive, who would pay that much money for a hound?" He said, "I did."
I did.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's a good time. That horses, hounds, and mules is a good time.
I got a mule I need to take to it. I all I've ever done is pack her, but she's hard to catch, and so it just irritates me. Right. And when I got her, the guy, he laid her down. She would lay down, do all, and she's a pretty little mule. But I don't need 3 mules.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't need 6, but I still bought 4.
Well, you ought to post her, Brett. You can see As Seen on Born 100 Years Too Late. You got to make some videos with her.
Yeah, I tried to the other day. I told my grandson, I said, "Here, get in the pen with me. Let's catch this mule." And it didn't make a very good video.
Yeah. Yep.
She's all right. Once you get your hands on her,
yeah,
she's okay.
Yeah, I had a horse like that when I was in college. You couldn't catch that horse to save your life. And the minute you got a halter on, the minute you even just wrapped your arms around her neck, that's it. She was done. She was as good a horse as you could ever want. She just didn't want to be caught.
Well, and I caused a little bit of this. My Houlihan isn't as good as my healing. And I whacked her in the ears a few times.
Yeah.
And that boogered her a little bit.
Yep. What do you guys think about gritty dogs? I got to talk about something. Talked about cars, roping, food,
scrap,
brandy, and bonehead. Scrap.
Have you ever seen my video, Last Hunt of the Year?
No,
I've probably seen it. Which one is it?
It's where those dogs catch that lion on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Now, those were gritty dogs.
The one you thought was a coyote.
Yeah, I was calling coyotes, and he came in.
Yeah.
I used to call coyotes for those sight hounds I had, because we don't have a lot of open ground like they do in Nebraska and everything. You had to try to lure them out in the open before you could catch them. And I forget whose videos I was watching. I think it was Dave Carlson's. And I told my wife that day, I said, "Would you go into town and buy me one of those video cameras?" I didn't have one at that time. And she brought it out to me, and I started filming and everything, calling the coyotes. I was on a real nice young gelding. And man, we took off across there, and I'll be dang when I got up on them, they had a lion. Out there in the flats. I mean, in the middle of that desert out there.
He was running on a horse. He was on a horse, right?
Yeah. I didn't have any mules at that time.
Yeah.
That's that same horse I was riding up, and I was hunting up in up on Hyatt's ranch up here. And that's when Mr. Hyatt, Jim Hyatt, he's a real good guy. They've been in that country forever, and good cowboys. And he seen me up on the side of that mountain going through that volcanic rock and everything on that gelding. And when I got down, I talked to him for a little while, and I was on his ranch. And he said, you know, for what you do, he said, you need to get a mule. And I said, I've never been around mules in my life. And then he pointed his finger at me. He said, but get a good one. So
Ted
Hey,
Turner
good ones
died,
or bad
guys.
ones? What is it?
Did y'all see that Ted Turner died?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah, he's a giant rancher in New Mexico, ain't he, Brett? And where all his land is, or he's probably got it everywhere.
he owns the Armendaris and the Ladder Ranch. And that's probably as much private land as anybody owns in New Mexico.
Yeah.
Good, both. I mean, that it goes all the way up over the Caballos, and then the Ladder Ranch goes into some really, really good country up there. But they won't let you on it. I mean,
So his son kind of took it over, correct?
yeah.
And it's kind of wolfy country, or they wanted to. Isn't there a story on that?
The Ladder's not that woofy. I mean, you get further up by Winston, Cody, where you were.
Yeah.
Up there, and there's some wolves up in there, but the Ladders. See, my place used to be right down below the Ladder.
But they're Mexican Lobo wolves. They're not the wolves like the Yellowstone
what I'm
wolves.
saying is,
No, exactly.
isn't his son kind of anti let anybody hunt there because it's kind of they wanted it to be like a wolf sanctuary? Wasn't there kind of a?
Maybe. I don't know.
I know he wanted to kill a lion.
Oh. He was just picky on who got to hunt there because Mike Roots used to hunt there, didn't he?
You can't hunt there with outlaws. Let me just say that.
Yeah, Mike Root used to hunt there. That's
Mike
right.
still hunts the Ladder, and he gets in trouble every time they catch him there.
He'd be like Norman Davidson told me one time, you know, he used to hunt on the river here where I lived, and little by little the wildlife refuge kind of bought up all the brush along the river, and hell, he was in his mid 80s and they were giving him hell. And he told me, he said, yeah, the game warden came by again, federal game warden. He said, I've been hunting that country for 70 years. He said, if they're going to make me quit, they're going to have to get a lot rougher with me than just sending me these damn letters. and he meant it too.
I just found out, you know, our river's dry right now. They haven't let the water out of the dam. And I've caught 2 lions on the backside of the river. So at least once a week, I'd run down there in my buggy with the dogs. There's a little old 2-track road goes down the backside. And I'd just run take my dogs down through there. And I just found out on Facebook the other day, they were talking about it in the Las Cruces community board or whatever you call it. It's a $500 fine if they catch you down in that river with your buggy.
Really?
Yeah. And they were all talking on there about how they need to start enforcing it because all these people are running up and down the river in their buggies or 4-wheelers and all this.
There's a lot of enforcing about to happen on the OHVs, you know, because they're going after weight, like anything over 3,500 pounds or whatever. Because I mean, have you seen some of those? Hell, man, they're $50,000 and they got AC and automatic, electric windows and.
Yeah, Brett's seen one of them. He drives one down that riverbed about once a week.
Mine's got electric windows and air conditioning and heater. And then I went down and you're not allowed to drive them on state roads, but on county roads, asphalt in the city, you can ride. In Las Cruces, you can drive them, but they got to have blinkers and all that stuff. So I went down, had mine retrofitted with blinkers and everything. And I got a little piece of state road I got to go down. I mean, it's probably not 3 miles.
Yep.
I'll be danged if I haven't been stopped on that road 2 times. I never got a ticket. Just the guy warned me, but it'll probably happen these days.
You only get so many warnings.
Yeah,
I've never, and I don't really know why. And most of our country, Casey's seen it, and Chris has seen it, and Brett's seen it. He just don't remember. You know, we got pretty good roads going through all this brush. And so if you can get a buggy down it, you can generally get your truck down it. But I don't know why, but I've never enjoyed hunting out of a buggy.
I wonder why.
I don't know. I don't know.
They sure ride better than a truck. Their suspension is better, and they're probably a little bit more convenient. Besides the fact you have to throw it on a trailer and drag it somewhere.
Yeah, I don't like. They're louder than a truck. You know, I don't like that, and I don't like to have to turn my air conditioner off to listen to my dogs.
Last time I seen you, all you're doing is looking at that little screen inside your
Yeah. I'm working on some robotic dogs. I can control them with a remote control.
You said the truck he's got now, Brent, you drive down the road, you look at the screen right there, and you can see the dogs all the way around you. Like you can't run over a dog because that screen, he's got cameras all over that damn truck. You can see every dog around you.
That's right.
I probably drove mine, I bet 25, 30 miles this morning.
Really?
I went out to some hills way back off over here.
They're definitely good for running around and finding some spots and roads and before you drag a trailer down it.
And that's the problem that I think that I never liked is you got to haul them on a trailer. Now, Brett's hunting from his house. So that's convenient. You know, I would probably do it then. You know, when I had them Jeep Gladiators, I went up and hunted with Joel Garnett, and he pulled his trailer and got his buggy off. And he's like, we'll take this buggy because you can't get down it with anything else. And I told Joe, I said, if you can get that buggy down it, I can get down it with these Jeep Gladiators. And he didn't believe me. And we hunted for 3 days. And before I got home, he had a new Jeep Gladiator sitting in his driveway. He bought him one.
I'll be dang.
I had my Tundra for 2 weeks, and I took a guy out hunting, and he said, I never seen someone take a 2-week-old truck down every side-by-side trail. I've known the man.
Well,
those trees don't stop it.
Those Tacomas used to be the thing. I mean, that's what everybody used.
I'm just too fat for a Tacoma. Too small for me. I like my Tundra. And I get it most. You know, and those side-by-sides, there's so many of them out there. They make them roads nice and wide now anyway. And that's the problem. Is you got those razors and those ones that do 100 miles an hour, and they're out there burning rooster tails and doing Brodies in the middle of the road. And that's what gets everybody in trouble.
Yeah.
Do you see quite a few down there, Casey, just running all over, showing up at your property?
We're overrun with them. You know, here a couple months
me
ago,
and Casey saw some when I was out there. I thought we was going to have to get in a fist fight with one of them arrogant son of bitches.
Oh, they're ignorant. They're ignorant. That one road runs across the ranch, you know, from the Young Road all the way to Tunnel Basin. And I spent 12 days over there dozing roads and went through, and I actually went through it yesterday. I had a fence contractor here looking at some fence, and I drove around that thing. And within 2 months' time, they've got that rock stacked up 2 foot deep in the center of that road. You know, it's just beat out, you know, wheel tracks. And I was complaining to the Forest Service guy about it because I kind of needed them to come the other way with their dozer and tie into it. And they couldn't get their guys here that time of year or something. But anyway, you know, I'm always complaining about all the 4-wheeler traffic on that road. And I've kind of got them broke coming through here because that one road comes around and comes to the private, and I just lock them out. But You know, and if they pull in here and they ask, I'll let them through. But most of the time they just roll through, you know. You got hound pups in the yard and they all act like they don't see you, you know, because obviously they're trespassing. So they just kind of roll through here fast. But anyway, I was talking to my Forest Service guy, and he was off there at what they call the LFs there at Payson. And he goes, dude, I feel your pain. He said, I was coming out of the LFs. They'd been packed in there working on some trail in the wilderness over there on the Verde River. And he said he looked behind him and he just see a cloud of dust. He's got a 20-foot trailer, you know, with mules in there. And he kind of pulls over and gets over, and this guy pulls up and he says, hey, can I get by? He says, I'm over as far as I can get. And he goes, I sat there. He goes, and that road just runs to the LF ranch, and it's wilderness from right there. And he goes, I don't know where the heck they come in. He was about a mile from the ranch when they parked and took off on that trailhead. And he said, I sat there for 45 straight minutes and I counted 107 buggies go by me.
Dang.
They do that. They go out in those big groups.
Oh, it's retarded. You see them guys, they're covered up and they're just covered in dust. And, you know, they drive down the road and they all got a signal 1, 2, 3, 4. I give them the number 1 signal, you know, I'm like, God, I mean, man, it has really got out of hand. And I mean, we're on the Tonto National Forest, which is a heavy populated recreational forest. But, you know, certain times of the year, like them people come out of Tonto all winter long and drive that road and they're going to the Antlers to have lunch or whatever. And, you know, we get them on both sides of us. It's a constant deal. We've been over there catching cattle and loading stuff, and they come by. It's funny when Obama was selling that Obamacare stuff, and we had a bull tied down in the road there, and they sent a guy back to go get truck and trailers about 5 miles down there, and it cold. And we got a fire going, and I hear buggies coming. Shoot, we're right in the middle of the road, in the middle of nowhere. I mean, we're 26 miles in the middle of that 609 road. We roll this thing over, and then people pull up. What are you doing? Are you browning that bull? No, we're going to load him, you know, blah, blah, blah. And it's okay. We kick the fire out, get the bull pulled out of the way, and they go by us, and we build us another fire. We're sitting there waiting on that guy to come back with a truck. Here comes another bunch of them. And I asked that guy, I said, you guys get a coupon with that Obamacare? And he's like, a coupon? I said, yeah, for one of them little damn razors. I says, all you Democrats got them little damn razors, and you just out here driving them around. Oh, you know, just driving. And they're going to that cave. I took Cody to that cave when he was here. There's a place called Copper Mountain Cave, and they all go there and they drink them a beer or whatever and have a good afternoon. And then they get in there, and then away they go. And like here, you know, I got to blocking them off just because by the time they get here, they're so beard up, and then they go across that mesa and they hit them switchbacks. Well, heck, it's just a race off of them things, you know, and they roll rocks all over the damn road. Yeah, it's a mess. Them buggy. And I drive one. I mean, don't get me wrong. I fire up a Ranger every day to do something. But yeah, them big old buggies, and here they come. I mean, I can hear them a mile before they get here. Stereos going and revved up machines.
LED antennas.
Oh yeah,
lights all over them.
Yeah, we had one guy. He come through here one time, and you know, they all show up here and they hit the gate. Well, heck, you can see the house coming off that hill, you know, for a half a mile. And there's signs up there, game and fish signs, you know, private property, blah, 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 no through traffic. And then here they come. They just start inching their way off of there. And there'll be about 10 or 15 of them. They come down there and they'll just park at the gate. And the bad thing is that Jack Russells will usually go over there and meet them. So then I got to go get them because they're going to drive off my freaking dog. So anyway, this guy, he pulls in there and you know, hey, we're trying to get here. You know, we're all low on fuel, blah, blah, blah. So Dinah lets them through. You know, they walk up and ask. Well, that guy comes back like a week later, and he got him another 25 people. And he says, oh, man, he said, we took the wrong turn. We're lost. And I said, you're the most lost son of a bitch I ever seen in my life. You were here last week.
Yeah.
So is that road that goes through your property, Casey, is it a public road or is it?
It's Forest Service on both sides.
Are you
but they
allowed
can get? Oh yeah, I'm allowed to lock them off of private.
Are you?
100%. Oh yeah, 100%.
Because we have a county road that goes through a canyon up here, and what the bad thing about it is those guys like those razors or whatever. They all get together and they go up through there. And they just bought the ranch. I've been going up there since the 80s, and they just bought the ranch. And there's this little piece of private, and of course they get upset because these guys go off the road. You know, they don't stay on the road. They're buzzing up the hills and tearing up grass and doing everything. You know, and so they get upset about it. And I ran into the lady up there, and of course she was kind of angry at me. And I wasn't on their private. I was way up the canyon. And I explained to her, I said, well, I got hounds, ma'am. I said, I told her, I said, back in the day, I said, they used to pay guys like me to come on ranches. And she softened up right then. You know, she started talking to me. I said, I don't drive off roads. I stay right on the, you know, on the designated roads, which most of them are just little 2-tracks anyway. So.
And that's the problem, is those people ruin it for everybody.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. And I get it. I mean, they want to go out and big, you know, big old groups of people and stuff like that. And that's all fine. But like I said, then it turns into, like I said, by the time they get here, they've been in that buggy for 2 hours, you know, and 90% of them are plumb beard up, which is fine. But they just go to driving them things like a NASCAR race and just, you know, I live in a boulder pile and they just roll rocks in them roads and, you know, knock them out of their deal. And I got to drag a trailer down that thing and tear tires up. And, it's a pain in the butt. And like, none of them guys show up Monday and drive out this road and stop 15 times and throw boulders out of the road.
Don't clean it out.
And you don't want to slow Diana down at all on those roads.
No, that's what I mean. I got to buy tires because it ain't slowing her down.
That's a fact.
Yeah, me and Casey were riding down this road up there, and one of them arrogant assholes kind of pulled up behind us and went to waving his arm, and Casey stopped and he pulled up and he goes, I can't get around you. And Casey said, yeah, I know. And Casey just kept on going. He wanted to fly by us, and me and Casey were looking for lion tracks, you know. Yeah. He said, I can't get around you. There's rocks in the way. And Casey's like, no shit. And just kept on going.
It's rude. Rude.
Well, you can only deal with them so much and so many of them before you just stop giving a crap. Like I said, there's lots of people that come through, you know, they stop and walk up here to the house. We're doing something. Yeah, I'll go open the gate for them, you know. I'm like, I don't open it up. But, you know, here's the deal. Like, I don't drive to Phoenix and ask if I can drive through your front yard. Yeah. You know, like, nobody's got any respect. And it happens. Like I said, they just, if that gate's unlocked, man, they're going to drive through here. And either they turn right there and go right up the hill by the owner's house, or they come right through the middle of me right here, you know, and they all got a GPS in that dang deal so they can see where they're trying to go. And it's a wreck. It's hard to claim your loss anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the problem is if like Casey said, if they stop and come ask you, you'd open the gate and let them through, you know, then guys just drive through.
There's a lot of those places here where a designated road goes through the private, and a lot of it is, I mean, just like Casey said, it goes right by their house. Yeah. But because it's a designated road, they're not allowed to lock it up. Yeah. They have to let everybody through.
Right.
And I can see how they'd have their face tore up about it.
Then they probably got an agreement with the county or something to come through and, you know, blade the road, maintain the road, or do something like that. Where here I'm surrounded by forest. Forest they don't do nothing on the roads, you know. Yeah. So the county does blade to my gate coming from the east, but I get 2 bladings a year. You know, it's just and I'm lucky to get it 2 a year.
That's it here. They blade those roads. I mean, the county goes out and blades them pretty regular.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got to get their money from the federal government.
Yeah, so they probably grant them, you know, an easement going through there. But here I don't have to. No, I can lock them gates and make them go around, and you know, and it does. I mean, it is like if they're trying to get to Young and they hit my gate coming in from that way, they got to turn around and backtrack about 12 miles, you know, and then hit that other road and go another 30 miles around, you know. So
and there you go. I mean, if you're at the end of the bladed road, then.
Coming from the east, yes. Yep. Yeah, but most
There's
of the
nothing-
traffic comes from Tonto Basin. They come up the hill and they're trying to go to Young, to have lunch at the Antlers or whatever. And if they're ignorant right here, they get turned around. And
Yeah.
I mean, I can't stop them from getting where they're going, but I can dang sure put a lot of miles back on them.
Man, there's nothing worse than turning around, going back. Me and my son were hunting over in East Arizona. Man, all day long. We were on a trail and we got a couple gates that were just kind of there, and we was on private property, but you weren't posted. Man, we go all the way through, and I come up out of this wash onto a, I don't know, it's a friend of mine, I'll say. He came on this, and it was on the inside of a private property, big private property, and had a just gorgeous gate on it, and there was no way I'm backtracking 20 something miles. And my friend popped the pins on those gates, went through, put the pin back on real quick. But we passed by a camera right there out of that wash. So you must have had people do it a lot. And I was like, man, I was waiting to get a call because I have, a big sticker on the side of my truck. Go get my information if you wanted. But we went in there, popped those pins, and got out of there. And we wouldn't have been back till 2 a.m. But
Yeah.
just never been there. And I
See, and those are not Texas problems.
It's all private.
That's not problems we have in the land of private land, But if you don't know somebody or pay a bunch of money, you ain't gonna have no place to hunt.
Well,
So it goes both ways.
Just that gate we went through had 7 locks on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we kind of brag about our public land, but that's the issue you got to deal with. That public land is you have to share it. I had around there in Tonto Basin. I was roading dogs, and some javelina hunter blew by me and hit one of my dogs and killed it. I remember his license plate to the day, and I seen my dog stop. I'm like, why is he stopping? Got up there and he'd been run over, and that guy went back to camp, loaded up, and left. I called the game warden just to make a report, and I said, either you go down there or I go down there. And if I go down there, it was it was a javelina hunt, and there was a big old group of guys down there. And that's if I go down there, probably not going to be. You're going to come out anyways with a lot of other people. So
Yeah.
that guy took off.
Well, guys, I hate to bid farewell, but I got to get up early in the morning.
Casey is
Sounds
good.
good.
Casey.
It's good to see everybody. We'll talk soon.
All right.
Sounds good, Cody. I was on a ranch, or not on a ranch up here lately, but the rancher sent me a picture. They had at one of their waterers, and they had a lion go by, and I didn't get it till kind of late. And I called him, and he said, "Hey, do you want to come up here and run a lion?" I said, "You bet." And I took off out of here and was hooking up trailers, and I can't ride a mule right now, but I was hooking up my buggy and everything. And I got about halfway down the road, and he called me. He said, "Well, you're late." He said, "I got a guy out of Animas that's coming up." And I said, "All right, no problem." And I told him, I said, "Hey, here last year about November, I was up on your," and I said, "I got on your private." I said, I made a circle up there on your private. I said, "I hope you don't mind." And he was quiet for a minute, and he said, "Well, yeah, I do mind." And I said, "Really?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "Next time," he said, "stop at the house so I can go with you." So, I was on a mule that time. Most people don't mind if you're coming through on a mule.
Well, and it sucks when property changes hands too, and maybe you don't know about it, and you're up there riding. Well, that was Jared. Jared went through that. Showed up, went through, and talked to the lady, and she was blowing him up until she found out he was allowed to hunt there. But man, it sucks when you get new owners.
Well, I did get in trouble up here on a place they call Chandler's. I've been hunting up there for years, and there's no fences, there's no signs, and I just always gone through there. And I went up there, and well, the guy had shot a deer, and he couldn't find it. He shot it with a bow and he couldn't find it. And my nephew had shot one a few years ago, and I went up there and I talked my dogs into trailing that deer up, and we found it. And he asked me if I'd go up there and try, and he shot it on this side of Chandler's, but it had gone up into Chandler's. And I went up there and I couldn't find the deer. And I came out, and the guy who had shot the deer went up there the next day, and he ran into the ranch manager. And he asked him, he said, Robert told him, he said, well, Brett Vaughn was up here just yesterday. And he called me a trespassing son of a bitch. And so that was the ranch manager. So I called the owner, and I said, you know, I've hunted all this country forever. I said that, you know, I didn't even know this was private. He said, well, yeah. And he was kind of short with me there for a little while. And I told him, I said, I don't mind him calling me a trespasser. I said, that's all right. I said, that's not a big deal. I said, but I sure don't like him calling my mother a bitch. And I said, you might ought to tell him next time I see him, I'm going to talk to him about it. But, and then I got to talking to him for a little while, and he said, well, he said, if you're up here hunting, he said, and you get on lion track, he said, go anywhere you want. He said, that's fine.
Yeah.
So we ended up kind of being cordial to each other.
Yep. Casey, you been doing any hunting, or you been doing a lot of ranching?
No, just working cows. And I kind of had a miscommunication. I thought when our quotas were done, we couldn't hunt, but come to find out, I guess you can.
You can pursue lion, yes.
Yeah, I didn't. I had a guy read that wrong, and I was talking to Jared about it the other day, and he's like, no, you could do it. And the way they have that worded in like 128 or something is, and I could dang sure see where a guy could get screwed up on that. And so I did some checking around on it the other day, and they're like, yeah, you can pursue. And I always thought you could. I got told by a guy that, yeah, I'm sure, you know, deals with game and fish on a lot of lion stuff. And he's like, no, you can't, like when the quota's done. So it don't change the fact. I mean, our works have kind of started, you know, we've been working a pile of cows and building some fence and just trying to get caught up. But
yeah,
no, I think it's dang sure gonna turn off and be hot. But I wish I was hunting.
You think we're gonna get some rain this year?
Boy, I sure hope so. You know, we had a heck of a good spring. You know, we dang sure need some of these creeks to run and need little bit of tank water. But you know, everything here, right here where we're at, we're in pretty good shape. You know, rain's hit at the right time, but hope, you know, they keep saying it's gonna rain all summer long. So
I hope so.
Hopefully,
too.
I hope it turns green and rains every day. Be nice to have a monsoon.
I don't know what these farmers are going to do down here. I mean, the lake's down so far, and they haven't turned the water loose yet, so it's going to hurt.
Yeah, I talked to a guy in Florence the other day. You know, down there in Florence, and you know they've got 5 acres or something there, and they irrigate their their yard and all that stuff. And he told me they got no irrigation. You know, only you know commercial farming that you know they're letting out of San Carlos come down through there. Like they can't get irrigation on them houses and stuff down there.
Only the golf courses and car washes get it.
Yeah.
So many people around here are going to pecan trees. They're going to pecans, and I guess they don't use as much water as they raise this is a big farming area all the way up to tier C almost. But they raise a lot of onions and stuff, and I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. And we don't have any jackrabbits left. I mean, there's no jackrabbits anywhere. Like I said, I was out probably 20 something miles this morning and never see a jackrabbit.
I'll be dang.
And usually you see quite a few.
Oh yeah, they were loaded around here, but there's none. And we haven't. Of course, we don't get much rain anyway, but we haven't had any really. It was sprinkled a little bit here last week, I guess. And then when we do get rain, all it does is run off the country. It doesn't.
But I went to Sholo the other day. You guys are still pretty dang green in Sholo.
Yeah, we got a couple little rains. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we were green. We were green till about a week ago, and then that wind blew and kind of dang sure pulled the moisture out, and it turned yellow. You know, the north facing slope still got some green to it, but it I think it'd be a good year to have an out tag. You know, I think that horn growth's going to be good. I seen some bulls yesterday that dang sure had a lot of growth to them, but yeah, hopefully it rains this summer.
Yeah. Well, all of our reservoirs need it for sure. I mean, we need some of those good dirty rains that send that water all the way through Phoenix at 100 miles an hour and make the Gila River run and all those creeks for a while.
I don't think they even had any snowpack up there in the high country. Of course, that's what feeds the river. This down through here is that snowpack in the high country, and I don't think they had any at all.
No, and I watched a thing on that. Where they said even no matter the snowpack, it's not going to help. They need some rain. We need some rain now water, you know, but everybody's whining about emissions and green power, and man, none of that's going to matter if we have no water.
These farmers down here, they don't really care about the rain much because everything's irrigation, you know, but it's been about 15 years ago, they all got to drilling wells too. And
well, those wells, they're going to have to drill deeper, another 100 foot.
They're having to right now. They're having to put them down further. I had that farm up there, and I wasn't a very good farmer, but I had a really one of the better wells out there, and I preferred to water out of the well because I had more control.
Yep. You guys hear about all that horse trouble?
Did they get that shut down?
Yeah. They tried to file an RTO, a temporary or TRO, temporary restraining order. So the forestry deemed them unauthorized. And of course, the horse advocates were out there blocking the road on forestry. And I don't know if anything come of that. I was going to go out there and let them harass me and then just get them for hunter harassment, you know, because they're literally, the rancher went out there and cut it off because they were closing the gate. So then they took a piece of rope and spread it across there and hung a tarp on it. In forestry, you don't have a lot of law enforcement. So it's hard for them to do anything. But I think that's going to court. It's going to be a fight. I think the rancher has some deal. He filed a restraining order against that crazy lady up there that's running that advocacy stuff. I mean, all those people are crazy. They scratch stuff all over the corrals, ranchers being the pedophile, all kinds of dumb stuff. Trash everywhere.
You know what's crazy about that? It's just they did the same thing down there in the Salt River with them damn horses. But yet, say I got a vacant allotment right here next to me that that nobody's ranching, and it gets full of wild cattle, and same deal on that Gila over there. And man, they just within 2 weeks, no time at all, they got a contractor over there gathering them things, and then when they can't get them all gathered in the whole 9 yards, then they're in there aerial gunning them. It's like
no kidding.
It's a total BS deal.
Yeah, no, the horses. And then a few of them got shot. Now it's a big ordeal, murdering bastards. Even though there's like 2,000 to 3,000 horses over here. If you've been up to Sholo, you look on that south side of the 260, there's no grass over there. It looked like Nevada.
Oh, no. I come back, it was a month or so ago, and one of them little Mustangs was running down the road, and the cop was trying to put him in, and I chased that little stupid sucker around there, and them people flying down that road, and I'm like, man, you're ignorant enough to hit one of these horses. How about it? I just finally got in my truck after about 30 minutes of chasing that horse around, trying to get him back through one of them stupid gates. And heck, them cattle guards are on them deals. And then they had them gates locked, and they couldn't, the guy didn't have a key the DPS guy didn't have a key. And finally a sheriff guy showed up there, and I'm like, I'm out. heck with this,
You know,
Yeah,
they
them super
I got to
deals
bug out for a minute. I'll be right back.
right. I don't even think they're allowed to put the cattle on it right now because the grass is so destroyed. So they're paying a lease, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they can't even use it. So if it was me,
Yeah.
I'd go after them horse advocates and sue them for loss of revenue.
Now, we've been told that our whole lives you can't sue the government, through the cattle growers and everything, we can't sue them. But yet I'm in a lawsuit right now, or the Tono is basically on endangered species, and they got the spike dace minnow right here in this creek below the house, Rock Creek. And that's what I did Monday or Tuesday. I sat in Forest Service office all day long, because we got to write an appeal to the deal to go to the courts for the lawsuit of how much of that creek a cow can actually get into. And I've got 3.5 miles of creek for spike dace minnow. And I think our only saving grace on that deal with me not having to lose a whole pasture, a 20,000 acre pasture, or fencing that thing off, is Game and Fish does shock that creek every year. But I don't know what they're going to end up doing with it. They're going to tell them to throw them catfish and them bass out of the deal. They're worried.
Yeah.
They're more worried about a damn cow getting down there and stepping on a spike dace minnow than they are the bass and the catfish.
Is that a
eating the damn
native
minnow.
fish? Is that a native fish?
It's endangered species. It's a T&E species. So, we've got that, and that's on our little deal. They're calling that critical habitat. Potential is a total different deal, but when it's critical, then they can fence you off of the creek right there.
Who pushed that? Did the CBD push that?
Yeah, Center for Biological Diversity. It's been an ongoing lawsuit for forever. Them poor people down below us on that desert, they don't stand a fighting chance anywhere there's live stream water down there. It's like Cherry Creek. It runs from the top. Kenny, my neighbor, his whole ranch right down the whole center of that thing, he's got live water in Cherry Creek, and he's not even listed on that lawsuit. And for 62 miles of Cherry Creek, they graze it, and then you get down there in that 3,500 foot elevation. When you get to the Digers down there, they can't have a cow. They've got that whole creek fenced off for, I think, 8 or 9 miles down there. They can't put a cow on it. But for 65 miles above it, they graze every ounce of it. I mean, it's just, none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense.
No, and they'll get their money back for suing them. That's the screwed up part. If they took away that stupid stipulation that if you sue the government, you get reimbursed for it, there would be no more lawsuits like that. That's just ridiculous.
Well, what they end up doing is they settle. See, if they lose and they think they're going to lose this lawsuit, now they're in a settlement. They're trying to go and say, okay, well, you can only use it, X amount. It's just kind of like the spotted owl or something. I've got 7 or 8 owl packs on me, and I can't be in there with a piece of equipment or a chainsaw, from March to, there's certain dates on it when they're supposedly nesting. But hell, we've had fires, and I've watched them go along there and ping pong the face of the rim, that Cherry Creek rim, and there's probably 50 owl packs in there. I'm like, how does this work? We can't be there nowhere with a cow, but you guys can go ping pong the hell out of it and light it on fire. The owl's gonna move. Nothing makes any sense. Don't get me started on all that, Chris. What was your topic tonight?
Gritty dogs, but that's why I call it free casting. We just get crazy on other stuff. We talked about it a little bit here and there. So, yeah, seeing if too much grit in a dog, is it good or bad?
Those side hounds I had were the only gritty dogs I had.
I haven't had none that were too bad. I've had some, maybe I got a little bit of brains from somewhere in my line to where they're not just going in, and I haven't had a vet. I knock on wood, but I haven't had to go to a vet. I've been able to stitch any. We've had one cut on a dog in the last since 2010. sliced his back. And that was it.
I did have a female dog that got killed by a bear. She got slapped. She was real fast, and I think she just made a mistake.
And they're fast. I've heard stories where guy got slapped by a bear, and was that Clayton Newcomb? I don't remember, but a guy got slapped by a bear and didn't realize it. And later, blood coming out, and it hit him right here and it punctured his ribs or something. And it was only like an inch from his heart.
Jeez.
And it was that quick. I don't think people understand the power of a bear.
Oh man,
how fast they could be, and I've dabbled in trying to stab one with a Bowie knife that was killing a dog. Well, I thought it was killing a dog, and it turned and came after me. And the only thing that saved me is it died. Like I took off running up the hill, and of course no one there is around. I was the slowest guy, and that bear rolled and died right before it got me.
I'll be dang.
Would have been a good story.
It's like that old man told me up there in that country I was in. Yeah, it was hard to catch a bear. I mean, it's just up and down and no roads. It's all trails. And I said, "Dadgum, these bears up here run fast." And he looked at me, he said, "The world's flat to a bear." Said,
that's no lie. That is no lie. You watch that GPS and I see them dogs go up a hill, around the hill, down the hill, next hill, up, round, down. That's how you know it's a bear. He's going straight up and around those hills, and I just been lucky and had a dog that didn't fall for those circle stuff, and he'd run right through those circles and find that bear. But man, and if a bear wants to go, he's gone. I'm talking 6 miles in 3 minutes. And you're like, and it's always towards the res where I hunt. Always right toward. They know
it's safe there.
Yep. I've had to pull them off that res line more than once. So I don't, hear a bunch of stories about gritty plots or people with gritty dogs, but I mean, I don't think I've had a dog that was too gritty. I guess gritty enough. Someone, Mountain Daily Star asked, "What's your definition of gritty? A gritty dog?" In my opinion, that's a dog that just runs in like a retard sometimes, and
Kamikaze,
like a coon hunting dog. They'll run in. That coon comes out of that tree, they're shaking it. And I think if you do that on a bear, even a lion, to me, bear, I don't worry about lions. I get more scared when we bluff up and my dog's rolling off the mountain. In a tree, you're pretty, I'm not safe, but you're pretty safe. But when you get on them bluffs, it's, and that's a gritty dog, right? Gets into those bluffs that shouldn't be, and he's hanging on that 6-inch ledge, and you're like, Jesus, get back off of it, because one swipe and that dog's gone.
Those cave holes, when they get in a cave and then you get up there, then they all get tough, and it's scary. I don't like cave holes. Just like
little brother when big brother shows up.
They all want to show off.
Yeah.
But I can call my dogs back. I mean, I've called them. I've never even shot a bear, and I've caught a bunch of them, but I just tell them, "Come on, let's go." And
I could pull my dogs off. Even Yucky was probably my grittiest dog, and he would get in their face. Lions more than anything on a bluff, and he's the one that drove me crazy. In a tree, I hunt up here where there's 60-foot trees.
Plenty of
most
trees.
of the bears are up there 20 feet at least, 30 feet. So I don't have to worry about it too much. And most time them bears when they're running, and I've just been lucky. Maybe I've been lucky. I haven't got a bad fighting bear on the ground. My dog stayed back. So maybe they got a little bit more brains than I do. Obviously trying to run up and stab one with a Bowie knife, but I
ran a little bear up there one time years ago, and that he'd run up the hill and run down the next canyon, and I'd finally work my way up through there. And I mean, it's all, I was on a mule. The minute I'd come down, and the dogs would have him treed, and then that little sucker would start coming down out of that tree and then jump. And he did. I ended up spending the night up there just because we ran that bear all day.
Oh, I ran a bear off a mountain that headed straight to Res, and I literally ran all the way back up to McNary and back on the 60. And man, I was about 12 miles away from where I ended up picking my dogs up. And I was on Res, and 100 miles an hour on it and 100 miles an hour off of it.
Can you get in a lot of trouble for getting on the res?
The older days, I think it was worse, to where I've heard stories of them catching people's dogs, the wardens over there, and sitting right on that fence line and saying, "Bring me 250. You have your dog back. If not, they shoot them." So you're going to the bank, bringing them 250 cash. I heard a lot of those stories. Now, it's not
Shoot them and eat them.
something. Let them go on their other, on the res there, and breed some of them bad dogs out, I guess. But that's all I have to worry about is reservation right here. You know, Casey just has to worry about terrain. So you probably don't want two. Your dogs are pretty feral though, aren't they, Casey? They go.
Yeah, like there's country here that you're going to walk a bear, you're not going to stop him, and there's country here that got some good pines, and then bears, you got a better chance of getting them caught. And we kind of try to stay out of that big old juniper flat type country, because they dang sure will walk you out of the deal. And I had really hunted bears hard in the last couple of years when I had that good set of bear dogs. I want to call them greedy, but I never sewed dogs up. Them dogs, they had enough grit in them and enough smarts to them. They could get away from them.
Oh, that's my dog. Yeah, I had a bear that didn't like white dogs. Racist bear. He'd only went after those white dogs. I had a couple white dogs, those Catahuas, and the walkers, and that bear wouldn't give a shit about the red dogs, but them more white dogs. Cruella's all white, one patch on her, and he went after her every time. Crazy.
Those Catahoulas are supposed to be pretty gritty, aren't they?
They are, but they're half hound and half Catahua. And the mom was a good bear dog, and she was real gentle. Like she'd trail all day long and get to that tree and stay at the tree. There was no fight in her, but there was no stop in her. You know what I mean? So that's what I like. That grit to where I guess they just keep going and going. Dirty, same thing. He loses that bear and he'll just trail it no matter how tired he is. And he's 12 years old now, so I have to get him on the bear, and then I got to get my younger dogs to bypass him. The thing with
I got to take my old dog to he's 14. I'm taking him to Los Lunas tomorrow. Those outfitters want to have him collected, and they got some pups out of him, so I'm going to take him up there, and I'll have access to it.
Yeah.
As long as I need it. And he's getting old, so I need him. He don't go. He goes all right, but he doesn't have what he used to have. That's for sure.
Well, my dirty dog, I thought he was going to die a couple of weeks ago. I mean, he was just laying around, and his pee was as yellow, almost red. I thought he was pissing blood for a second there, and I called my vet girl. I said, "Hey, man, he said, it could be cancer, it could be stones." I said, "He's 12. She goes, "Probably cancer." So he wasn't eating his dog food. So I started feeding him some rice and a hamburger and peanut butter, and he's coming out of his box a little bit more. And then I said, "Well, I'm going to let him off chain and run around the yard." That son of a bitch ran right to one of my bitches in heat, like he was not even sick. I didn't even know she was in heat. She was just coming in heat. I'm like, damn it. I put her in a heat pen. As soon as I grabbed her up, he ran to another bitch, and she was in heat, coming in heat. I'm all, you son of a bitch. Put her up, ran to a third one. And ever since then, that son of a bitch has been better. He's up and around again. I've been feeding him hamburger and elk burger and rice and just trying to get his energy back up. Now he'll sit out there and bark when I got a jip in heat. So I had 5 of them at once, of course. So
he just needed the right motivation.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as I unclipped him, I unclipped him straight to her. Like he wasn't even sick. I'm like, you boy that cried wolf of the clinic. But you got to have that, I guess, that grit. But I mean, I think if you're running hogs, it's a little different. I figure you want those dogs pretty gritty, I imagine. You know, catch dogs.
Yeah,
or whatnot.
there's a difference in a catch dog and a gritty dog. Like when you think about a bear dog, to me, a dog that'll fight a bear, but they got to be able to get away from them or they ain't gonna live long. And cow dogs the same way. If you're working tough cattle, like I had a dog killed the other day, bull smashed her, and one of them deals, we were just going right over here and to catch the bull we'd seen, and I didn't hang a collar on that dog, and I never found that dog. She got a hold of that bull, and that dog was kind of cool in a sort. I mean, she wasn't long for the world because she was that gritty, but she figured out how to catch them bulls. She'd get underneath it, she'd get them by the brisket. And it was perfect because you catch them bulls and they got a hold of their head and they're holding on to them. Well, you end up with your dog roped and you're choking your dog out in the whole 9 yards, and they get slapped off the ground. But that dog, she'd figured out how to get a hold of there, and I think that bull smashed her. We got around there and got that bull tied up, and I last heard that dog bark on that hillside, and we went up there and looked for it, and I know what happened. That bull smashed her and hurt her, and she run off. And got in the brush somewhere and died. But I think like I said, when I had that good set of bear dogs, when I started hunting bears and kind of threw them cow dog crosses at them, they them dogs, they knew how to get away. They and I guess too, in all honesty, these bears really hadn't been spoiled. That like nobody hunted this country. Bear hunted this country. We were catching lots of big bears, and the bears would go up. And we did walk some bears, a long ways through some, see them dogs going out there with them, across the canyon and stuff. But and probably 50% of them dogs bears we didn't catch, but I just pulled the dogs. I was like, hell, I ain't going. It's getting hot. I just told them dogs, and them dogs come back to us. But I think a dog does get some smarts to them. It's just, and everybody told me that. They're like, oh man, you're catching them bears and stuff. You're going to go catch a lion and get them knocked off a bluff or something like that. And yeah, when, them dogs that kind of get a little aggressive, when you just start bear hunting with them, after being lion hunting and hung on a chain all summer long, and go to get them dogs in shape. And that first bear, you might have something swatted in the head a little bit, but I never, knock on wood, I've never had. The one time I had a bad bear wreck, and it wasn't even, that dog had never seen a bear in his life. He come from my neighbor, and he got a little beat up, and he was an older dog. He lost a little bit of blood and wasn't even hurt bad. The dog that we put 70 stitches in showed up to the tree with us. She wouldn't run a bear and was leaned out on a bluff right there, leaning in a tree, barking at the bear, and fell down and took a stick in her belly. And it went in her belly, right in her side at her flank, all the way underneath her. And as she fell, it ripped her all the way up to her last nipple on the top. So yeah, I sewed him up because of on a bear race, but it wasn't the bear sitting in the tree. He wasn't even involved in it. The dog just fell 20 foot and caught a limb.
Tell Anderson I'll be there at that clinic about 2:00 tomorrow. I guess he heard me.
Yeah.
So I'll be there about 2, and it'll probably take, I don't know, probably going to be there. They got one dog they're doing in front of mine, so it's probably going to take about an hour.
Yep.
And I got, speaking of cow, I sent away and got a dog from a guy up in Idaho, because I've always liked him. They call him a lurcher, half a speed dog or half like a greyhound, but they're used on coyotes, and then half cow dog, out a real good cow dog down in Texas. And then he got in with one of my best females and bred her. And I got 2 of those pups left, and I think I'll just go start running bears with them.
Yeah.
How you do it?
See how
No, I bred those Catahoula's kind of for the desert, and they're really fast. They're fast. Those Catahoula's love to just go, but I need to slow them down a little bit more. So hopefully that quarter cross will slow them down. And they're good. They tree. So the mom is actually my coyote dog. So she got like 3 or 4 years now.
What coyote dog? What?
So Cruella is my bear dog. Well, she's been on Lion. I've had her on Lion down in desert. Gypsy's my yard dog, kind of my guardian dog, I guess. Won't come in the house, won't load in the truck, come up to you smiling and kill the shit out of coyotes out in state land. I mean,
How does she catch them?
I got 2 pit bulls too, and those coyotes come into my yard and the guinea hens start barking. And when those guinea hens go off, I got about 8 dogs running loose in my yard. I got one that's broken. I shot him twice with a shotgun when he first came around. He was a stray, and I peppered him out, and he stayed. So my son had him cut, and he's a coyote killing sucker too. But those pit bulls,
Just wondering, they'll catch them. I mean, they can kill them, but I'm wondering how they catch them. I mean, I ran a lot of coyotes, and man alive,
I bet you they've killed 4 or 5 coyotes in the last what is this? Well, in the last this year plus a little bit of last year.
have you seen how they catch them? Or
No, I just hear them fighting out there. It's at night usually.
Well, them coyotes probably up there where Chris lives, and all them people around there. Them urban coyotes get ignorant.
No, they come in for the chickens, the cats.
Yeah.
If I got a bitching heat, it's on.
so that's why the coyotes are coming in, and then they're not.
I have 4 or 5 bitches in heat right now. So you hear them out there all night long, and you'll hear. I think they just. So I have 2 of my dogs, actually Stinker out there too. Stinker and Trichinosa, they sit up on the hill, and they'll watch. It's pretty cool. I need to video it. I don't want everybody thinking I'm out here killing coyotes at night.
I just think they might have cornered them in a fence or something like that to get them caught.
I think they do it's always at night. It's hard for me to catch them, but you should hear the fights out there. And then once the pit bulls,
I used to go out on the circle pivots out there in the Uvis and spotlight coyotes and let those dogs run them at night, and they're a lot easier to catch at night. You put that spotlight on them, and they don't know what's happening. And those big old dogs, I had 2 throat dogs, and man, it was fun to watch those kill a coyote.
I'll tell you how bad the coyotes are here. Is I butchered a cow, and I shot it in the round pen, and I cut it up and just took it into my shop, and I left like most of the carcass there, the spine. You know what I mean? We just cut it up right there. I came out the next morning, and those coyotes had eaten on that. I mean, it was all night long. You hear they killed a couple coyotes that night, but they'll come in and eat on it. I had a horse go down, and I had a mule go down, and they came in while she was down and chewed on her, a hole in her leg. So they come right in my yard.
I got 2 cell phone cameras on my yard here, one out back where the kennels are, and then one on my driveway.
Mm-hmm.
And I have coyotes on it about every 3rd day coming right through the yard, you know.
Yeah. And I think I have enough dogs that they're all over my yard. So when one barks, the other one comes running, and I think they just corner it. That coyote turns around maybe to fight the one dog, and once my pit bulls get out there, you can tell when they're out there.
Yeah,
it's bad.
You talk about them running dogs, Brent. I had no idea. I was talking to a guy here about a year ago that has them dogs, and them coyote running dogs and stuff, and they're down there in southern Arizona and hunt a bunch of them pivots and stuff down there, and he got to tell me, he's like, yeah, there's some places we can hunt, we can't, because of the wire fences. And he says, and it depends on where that thing's at. And I'm like, what's a barbed wire fence do to a dog? And he's like, here, I'll show you. Man, them dogs you talk about gritty. them dogs get to running, they hit a barbed wire fence, they tear legs off.
Oh yeah,
I mean, that's brutal. I was like, holy crap. He goes, yeah, look how tall that dog is. He's doing 40 miles an hour out across that deal. That barbed wire fence, he says that coyote just ducks and goes through it. He says that dog hits that fence and breaks wire. And, 80-pound, 90-pound dog hits that deal. And he said it tears their legs off. He showed me some pictures of some dogs they had a doctor. I was like, holy crap.
Yep.
I had a jump box behind my cab in my truck, and I had two arms up like that, and I had one of those. This back in the day before we didn't have those LED lights like they got now, but it was forget the brand. I sent away for it. Man, that spotlight, I'd go out through there and catch those coyotes and trip those dogs loose, and that was a lot of fun. I love to watch them run. Then I'd try to run out there with them and watch they're usually not much of a fight because those dogs are, a good throat dog. You have a speed dog that can trip one up, and then that throat dog just goes in and grabs them by the throat, and it's over
vicious.
Yeah, it looks like a rabbit. They're slayed right there. It's neat.
30 years ago, before I even got into hounds, I always wanted to get greyhounds, and the tallest thoroughbred horse I could find. Because I grew up in South Arizona. It's all fields, flat fields.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, them coyotes, I've chased coyotes from Stanfield, Arizona to Maricopa, Arizona in a truck. So,
those guys out in Nebraska, now they have good hounds. They got some of those. We call one a greyhound or we call them a stag hound. They got hair, they got some long hair on them. I had a big old dog from back there, and man, he was double tough. And if you ever watch my interview with David Heiss, that's what he did. He got me my dogs for me. He loved those running dogs.
Yep.
Speed, we call them speed dogs. A lot of guys get confused when you talk about running dogs. You think about the dogs like Cody has or those guys, that run coyotes back east. But we call them speed dogs.
Yeah, no, I watched those videos on TikTok and stuff where they pull that cord and god dang.
I had metal cord. We built it ourselves. I had metal one, and then on the back of the box, I still got it out there. It was a cutout with a cutting torch, a silhouette of a coyote. But I got where I like to do it on horseback, and you go out and have a call and try to lure those coyotes out into an open place where those dogs would have a chance.
Yeah,
and it was fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Well, Brett, I kept you up till 9 o'clock.
I know.
Your time. I know.
Yeah,
and then
my time.
We talked about everything else but dogs. We started talking about dogs. Everybody went to bed, I guess.
Well, watch for me. I got to go to the Mayo Clinic here soon. So, again,
let me know. I might be down that way. Go do some lunch or something.
I'll be there in Scottsdale. So,
Cody may be down here pretty soon. I don't think he can get here till June, but we got some work to do here too. Casey, thanks for jumping on.
No, you
Casey,
bet.
it was good seeing you, Casey.
Good seeing you. You guys, you're in Arizona. If you need anything, give us a shout.
Thank you.
Sound good.
Yeah. Adios.
Chris, I enjoyed it. It's been a long time.
I know. Hey, you yelled at me. I send you an invite every time. The only time I didn't send you one, you said, you called me next morning and said, Chris, you didn't send me an invite. I said, you never get on. He goes, that don't matter.
It's the thought that counts.
You better send me an invite. I text him. I said, you need to get on tonight. I said, I think I'm going to be by myself. He said, oh, am I the last choice? I said, you were the first one I text.
No, I didn't. I was sitting there in the chair and we were just eating dinner and I got that text and I told my wife, I said, man, I don't feel like going all the way back out there to the office. And I looked and my laptop sitting right here and I thought, well, man, I can get on my laptop. That'll work.
Yeah. Your wife said, you better get on there, Brett. So sit around here being mad.
You know what? No kidding. You must have been eavesdropping because that's exactly.
I know. Listen, I've only met Tammy one time down Earn Your Spurs, and trust me, when I said I'm not hungry, she bought me a bean burrito anyways.
Oh, she'll feed you. When I met her, I weighed 192 pounds, and it wasn't 3 years later. I was 250. Of course,
Well, she wanted you You wanted you big and fat so no one else looked at you. All
That's,
righty, Brett.
they still
Thanks
look
for
at.
jumping on.
Yeah, Idaho Bear Hounds. Thank you. But now I've lost a lot of weight here in the last 2 years, really.
You just got to get back on that mule is all. Soon.
Man, I'm craving it I want to go up to that high country and just explore.
And I also know that you'd already been on it if it wasn't for Tammy too.
Well, I don't think those doctors understand that I ride good.
Yeah.
You know, but I'll tell you what now, if something did happen and you hung this thing up over that saddle horn,
it wouldn't be pretty.
Oh, and there's nothing pretty about it anyway.
Well, at least you wouldn't have to stop and go. You just
first
there's no
2
more
weeks.
getting off.
First 2 weeks, if you even bump into that thing, you want to cry.
Oh, I bet.
And then dogs coming up to you that want to jump on you.
Oh, yeah.
Like that.
Not good for the dogs either.
They learn not to jump real quick.
Yep.
But anyway, guys, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I better go. Thank you, Chris.
All right, no problem. Later.
Bueno, bye.
Hound Rendezvous, August 21st, 2nd, 3rd. That's going to be coming up quicker than I think, and I'm supposed to be working on it since January. But man, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's some for you guys that don't know and think everything goes away. And this is where I kind of talk shit about people. Is most time people won't get involved until there's something coming up, or if they're trying to take something away. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's going to happen. So when I'm out begging for money and telling you guys to join for membership and do these raffles, which I do got a raffle going on right now, go to azwda.com and win a 300, 3 TT25s, $1,000 cash, or what else is there? Oh, Alpha XL, your choice of one of those. But I tell you what, if we don't have a war chest, it makes it hard. And if we're not ahead, and I've been trying to stay ahead, of course, I got to pay my bills too. And all of a sudden, all my work that I do, what I do for a living, has just been piling me up. So, but azwda.com, become a member. It don't matter what state you're in. We get people at the Hound Rendezvous. The first year, man, we had people from, the second year too. Texas, Louisiana, Tennessee, New Mexico, Nevada, Utah, Colorado. There was a few other states. So you're all welcome. You're all welcome. Jeremy, Jeremy is on that. I'm already on that raffle. That's a good raffle. So it's only 40 spots, so you got a pretty good chance to win. Except we don't let Robert do raffles no more because he likes to win everything. Other than that, if you want to listen to us on a podcast, just look us up, Freecasting on Spotify and maybe iHeartRadio, Apple, the Apple podcast, any of those. Other than that, I tried to put, but not sure I got it done. I'll check it. When you do the credit cards, it don't go right away. I have to authorize it. Sometimes it goes a couple of days. So make sure you got money in the bank. But if not, let me know, Minx. Just send me an email or something. Anecdote of a houndsman at outlook.com or AZWDA. AZWDA at outlook.com is better. That goes right to me quick. Other than that, we thank you guys for watching the show, and we'll listen to it as a podcast too, and share, because I really I had 120 members our first year, and now we're only at about 30% because nothing's going on. But something's about to go on, and it's going to be bad. And if they get it done in Arizona, they're going to get it done other places. Other than that, you guys keep your powder dry and stay safe out there.